Good afternoon,
Hi, everybody.
everybody. Welcome to Florida. The first stop, today's adventure, is going to be at the Crystal River Archaeological State Park. Julie and I came here in 2020 on our road trip, which Julie planned all by herself. And I think, was this the first city we stopped in?
I think it was.
I think so.
Michael told me he had never been to a zoo and he had never seen any type of archaeological ruins.
Can you believe that?
I know. So this
Fell in love with it, though.
This is the first place I took him.
Yes. Tell us about it.
All right. This is Crystal River Archaeological State Park. It is 61 acres and it is one of Florida's longest continuously occupied indigenous sites that was active for 1,600 to 1,900 years.
Okay.
Starting around 500 BC. There are 6 mounds here that are burial grounds, temple mounds, a plaza, a large shell midden. We've done lots of shell middens on this channel. You know I love a shell midden.
Yes.
It's more than just a village, though. People traveled from far away to have ceremonies here, and they have actually found artifacts that show that people have come here from as far away as the Ohio River Valley.
Yeah.
So this was a big cultural and center for interchange with different native cultures.
That's two things that I took away that stayed in my memory, and I told Julie that I wanted to come back one day. One, this is where I fell in love with shell mounds. Absolutely fascinated by shell mounds. They have one of the largest here. It's they've built now steps, 52
Something like that,
something like that, to get to the top. And then the second was to show you kind of the diorama on how this was like a major trading post, that this water where they traded goods, like Julie said, all the way from the whole Ohio Valley, fascinated me. The third thing, if it's still up and not behind glass or hasn't been destroyed, was a religious artifact. I'll say that. It's not a statue, but it's a female deity. And so when we walked away, this was an evening thing we did because we were swimming with manatees the next morning. Absolutely fascinated. And when we moved here, I started asking Julie years ago, hey, find us a shell mound. I'd like to go see more of those. So happy to be back. And this time we get to bring a camera and we get to explore for as long as we want.
I brought my archaeology hat.
Yeah.
It is okay to make fun of me, but I don't want my face in the sun.
So I've got Indiana Jones with me. And we're going to enter.
There's also a museum here with some artifacts. I think we're going to go in and do that first.
Yeah, we did not get to see that last time. It had already closed.
For 2020, it was closed for pandemic.
The museum closes at 5. The park stays open until twilight, so we only got to do a little walk around. So I'm so happy we get to explore for a longer period today. So welcome again to today's adventure. Let's get inside the park.
Yay! We have a little diorama here of the site, and it shows Mound B that is no longer here. It was removed, unfortunately, to make a barrier for hurricanes.
All right, here's some projectile points that they found on the property. Wow. The little lady told us over 2,000 people were buried here, but you had to be status. So even though the culture, the civilization lasted for close to 2,000 years, there's only 2,000 bodies buried because you had to be somebody of a higher status to be buried on property here. The unfortunate thing is when we go outside and we see the mounds, none of these are original to scale because there was a demo that occurred to fill in and make way for a trailer park where a lagoon used to be. And so the largest mounds have been toppled. Some are only 1/4 of the size that they originally were when this was an active civilization. we were saying before, you see a map here that showcases where pottery has been found, and it was in quite a few states. You see as far away as New Mexico, as high as Michigan, New York even. And then down here, you'll see the pottery that they're referencing. Look at that one from North Carolina on the far left. I'll have to show Julie. I can't get this in frame, but this is a dugout prehistoric canoe. So I'll turn this way and I'll just walk backwards. It's probably 10 feet long, I would say. It's really neat though. And then up here you'll see photos, depictions of what they assumed the civilization was like. All of the shell that was here on the main mound, we'll show you outside, was actually used from shell that is only eaten when that status member dies. So that particular oyster is eaten during ceremony only. Here's some other materials. Oh, they got copper. Interesting. And there's more pottery.
The Deptford Swift Creek period was from 200 BC to AD 300. They had one mound built for sand burials and another, the midden, which is mostly discarded materials like bone and shell. And here's some of the things they have found and carbon dated from that time period. Shards of vessels, pendants, an ear, spool, mica, ornamentations of smoking pipes. They call these everyday objects. The Whedon period is from AD 300 to AD 1300. This is when they had more ceremonies and the temple mound was construction. And you can see these are pieces of pottery. They actually look a little bit more, maybe it's just what we found, a little bit more detailed. Punctuated, incised, plain. Here's the temple mound. A circular embankment was added around their burial mound so they could do even more burials. And the Safety Harbor period, AD 1300 to 1400. That's when the site reached its height of development with the addition of a plaza and a second temple. And here's some things they have. This big bowl right here was actually reassembled from fragments that they found on top of 25 burials in the second burial mound. And here's some more little pieces. Some shell beads, it looks like a bracelet. Tools. A hammer. More pots.
I really like the way they did the timeline here. You see the cultures in the area starting back 1500 AD and moving all the way down to 9000 BC Paleo-Indian there at the bottom. So they've retrieved at least this many centuries worth of material here from the property. Gosh, that's so cool. Look at that stamped clay ball, top right hand corner. That stone. That's a big pendant. It does look like a manatee. It does. Look at that. Right? Very fitting. We're in the manatee capital of the world. Okay, we just finished the 5-minute video. We're heading out to the self-guided tour.
Now's a good moment to say I'm very sorry. I forgot our microphones again. Bad vlogger. I hope you can hear what both of us are saying as we swap the camera.
Yeah.
I'm very sorry. One of these days I will put them on a necklace and just wear them.
A necklace.
Not today. There's an information video. It's about 8.5 minutes long that they play in the visitor center. I didn't want to slow this vlog down with that, but I did record it, and I'll drop it as a second video to come out right after this one if you want to hear the park rangers talking about the history of this site and also see some really cool aerial drone footage. But It was 8.5 minutes. We'll put that as a separate video.
Not sure if you can see it yet, but we're heading straight for the center of the site, which is the... Is it Mound A?
No.
No.
It has F, E, D, and C on it.
Okay, it's a lot of mounds that were built up over
It's the
different...
one that you see in all the postcards.
Yeah, the one you see in the postcards, over different civilizations. We're going to climb these 52 steps. What's astounding, guys, if you can see the base of it as we're walking up toward it, is to realize they have no idea how large this actually was, but they think this isn't even a fourth of what it originally happened to be in both scale and size, which is astounding to me. View from the top.
It's actually on the map listed as Mounds C, D, E, and F.
Okay.
It stood intact for 1,000 years until it was bulldozed in the 1950s.
And it covered a lagoon, is that right?
Yeah, to make a seawall to protect against storms.
All right.
I think we should film ourselves going up all these stairs.
Okay.
I meant how out of breath we get. All right, some 50 some odd steps is not that bad. But I wanted to say it is 87 degrees, and Michael and I have been saying all day, Florida is just not as hot as we remembered it being in mid-September when we lived in Melbourne. We are on the West Coast this time. Maybe the West Coast is not as hot as the East Coast, but I don't know if I would have wanted to do this in September in Melbourne if they had had a shell mound of this height. Whew, we're at the top. Let's give you the view. All right, that's the steps we just came up. And here is the lagoon.
And to think, this might only be 25% of the actual height of their original mound.
Yeah, that's wild to think about.
I keep looking in the water for an alligator.
That's Crystal River right there. Yeah, me too. That's Crystal River.
And there's the seawall.
And if you look down here, you can see a little trail. That's what the bulldozers climbed back in the 1950s to tear the shells down out of this mound to build that seawall.
And right here, if you kind of, now it's grown over, but if you see this straight line, that's actually from the bulldozer itself to push out to build that wall.
Yep.
And then if you just look down, I mean, there's shell everywhere. This impressed me so much the first time we came here to realize that this was shell, not only shell, the shell that was used and built up for the sake of ceremony, because this is what they ate when they were honoring their dead. That just blows my mind.
Sorry guys, I'm still learning this DJI. I didn't mean to pan you over there into the weeds. I was trying to show you the view. Yeah, I was not expecting Michael to enjoy this as much as he did when I put it on our list of things to do on our road trip. But he's been talking about it ever since. And I'm so glad we had a chance to come back here now that we have a YouTube channel and show everybody. I am happy to be back in the land of Spanish moss. I talk about it all the time. I don't touch it. It's itchy. But I love this about the South. Yeah. I always think of Savannah, Georgia, but beautiful. All right, one more time. Let's check out this panoramic view. This over here, this little lagoon would be a great place to look for an alligator, but I don't have zoom on this gimbal, and I'm definitely not seeing one, so there. God, I bet there's alligator nests in here. I don't know what time of year they do, but a bunch of boats going by.
As we're headed to the next mound, Jules, I don't know if you picked up on that, but it said that a lot of the artifacts that were found here was in the Smithsonian history of the American Indian. I was like, I missed that when we went to the museum. I don't remember seeing that.
I don't think they were on active display
when we
were in D.C. because he
gotcha.
did tell me they have a warehouse somewhere outside of town. The displays that they had were related to the treaties. I did a video on that.
Yep.
But it was only treaties with a couple of the colonies. They had the Pocahontas display, the little bighorn. But I don't remember seeing anything from the southern United States.
Yep. I want to say something else as we make our way further. This is only a 16-acre park. Yeah. But there's so much history on this 16 acres. It's amazing. And everything you see forward, they were telling us on the video, should not have trees on it or didn't when it was an active civilization. So we're going to have a sight line when we get to, I think they call it the amphitheater, to the big mound that we just came from, which is over on your right-hand side if you look just beyond the largest trees there. Okay, we're looking at the other side of the mound, so you can see a little bit more of its width. I guess a small kind of demonstration area maybe for tours is set up over here on our left. But again, you can see a little bit better perspective of how high up that we were. And then, of course, the seawall is right here. It's such a calm, beautiful day. This is
so breezy.
Yeah, so breezy. This is great. The water's moving nicely. We are actually also in scalloping season. We unbeknownst to us, we didn't do this one on purpose. So happy to be here. Yeah, I was going to say, I think those fellows over here there's an airboat just over behind that tree. I think that's what they're doing.
It's fresh.
You smell that?
Yeah.
I told Jules we're going to have to go do that this weekend, so stay tuned for that because I want to try seafood. We did not get to try that the first time we were in Crystal River. So I'm going to walk up to the seawall and let you see some of the shell that was actually taken from the mound.
Oh, and they crushed it up.
And they crushed it up, yeah.
Oh.
So you see.
That's so sad.
And she did tell us a lot of roads in Florida
were
originally used with shell taken from other Indian societies. Okay, we're coming up onto another edge of the property. My favorite part. Now, like Julie said, whether she said it in this video or it was said in the video inside, they claim there's no connection with Mesoamerica. Not sure. To me, this deity is the connection to Mesoamerica. I love stuff like this. I told Julie back in the day that I couldn't believe someone would keep this outside. Here's the...
This is what she's supposed to look like. Can they see
the outline? Yeah, I think so. The long hair, the face, a little bit of shoulder, 2 eyes, and a mouth. This has definitely worn down from when we were here. But in the center screen, you can still see the face, the outline.
I'm not going to touch it. Don't worry.
Eyes,
There's the 2 eyes.
Here's
the mouth.
Yep.
Here's the shape of the head.
Yeah, you see the shoulders.
We got like a ponytail going here,
exactly.
But she actually has hair that's like, or she should have had hair that goes like that.
I don't know. Things like this from that time period just fascinate me so much. And they just call it the face in the stone. Let me walk over to the...
You show them, I'll tell you.
Okay, tell us.
It was discovered in 1964, but it's a mystery. In the ground, near this stone, they found a small cache of stone tools, animal bones, and charcoal, possibly left as an offering.
Okay.
Some researchers feel like the face was carved in antiquity. Others think this is entirely modern.
Oh.
And they have some examples here, if you want to show.
Okay.
Other human figures found at other archaeological sites in Florida.
Hmm.
And they are kind of a similar look.
So now they're not thinking it was a deity at all?
Well, no, researchers have a divided opinion.
Oh, divided opinion. Sorry, okay. And again, you can see the shell here. And she is surrounded by shell. I'll pull back and show what Julie was looking at.
I didn't see this, but this is what I was trying to say. They've outlined in red what she's supposed to look like. And this is a photograph taken in 1960. And it's
nice.
Even more worn since then.
Yeah, for sure. Is this the other
Yeah, these are other
depictions?
examples
Okay.
that are kind of a similar.
And so we just don't know, huh?
Well,
Since we're
researchers
so
have
divided?
divided opinions.
Well, I love it. I thought this was amazing. This is still a number one. There is a second one on property, and I'll show you kind of the side. You can see how worn and aged that it is.
Yeah.
But I was so fascinated this was outdoors and was available for people to come up and actually look at. It wasn't behind glass at that time.
When we came here in 2020, I only really remember the big
mound,
I
yeah.
don't really remember these other things. And then when we started talking about coming back here, Michael kept talking about this, and I didn't remember what he was talking about.
This is
made
what
the biggest impression on you.
It did. This one made the biggest impression on me, yeah, for sure. I love it. I'm so happy to be back here.
We need to get you this and like a gold necklace.
Yeah.
Some natural stone or something. Look on Etsy for that.
Yeah. Okay, what's next?
They're not going to be able to hear me from here.
Oh, let me come up. Tell us.
I got it wrong.
Oh.
I watched the video. I listened to the tour guide. I thought she was saying that there were 2,000 bodies in the big mound.
Okay.
But now that I'm looking at this, I think I was wrong. I think that's what she was telling me was the trash heap made of bone and oyster shell and anything that this community needed to get rid of. They just piled it up there. Mounds C through F, that's the main burial complex. So that must be this.
Okay.
I must have got this wrong somehow.
I thought I understood what you were saying as well, as she was describing it, though.
It's very hot. I might be a little dehydrated.
Yeah, right? Maybe.
I think I remembered that wrong. But this must be part of what she was saying, the mound that had been disassembled with time somewhat. There's parts of it left.
Okay, I got you.
There used to be an exhibit here called A Window to the Past, which gave visitors a peek into the Native American burials. But they've removed the structure, and the graves were reburied in the 1980s because laws and public sentiment started to change.
Okay.
Today, we show much greater respect for Native Americans and try not to disturb. But this is what used to be here. Boy, I wonder what you were seeing in there.
Yeah, I wonder. Yeah, huh.
So the native people were called the Calusa or Timucua, and they were first recorded by early Europeans in the 1500s, but the people who were living here at the Crystal River site were much prior to that, and they did not leave any type of written record. So the Europeans did not actually encounter the people.
The video did say that, didn't it? How many years they were here before the written record. That's amazing to me. Gosh.
Some special objects were buried, such as, precious metals and other things that aren't even found in Florida.
Yeah, look at that copper. Yeah, when you look at that map from the inside, I'm not sure if you guys noticed that or not, but it showed different materials coming from different areas in the U.S. So they knew peoples from around the country visited here for special ceremonies.
So neat.
I love it. I love it so much.
I never think of Native American civilizations having contact with each other, which is probably part of the way stereotypes were pushed on us as kids. We were never taught about things like intertrading and traveling this far, but it was a thing, and I'm glad that we are learning more about that now.
I will say this. I feel like Florida does a superb job showcasing Native American history. Maybe it's just because this is the first state that I have seeked it out, and you and I have explored it more than anywhere else. But I love it. I love the natural Florida, and then you get a little bit like you're seeing here. You get some mounds that were actually here, thousands of years ago. Mm-hmm. It's great.
I wish that they had protected them more back in the days of road construction, but we're a better people now, and I'm happy to see that they're being honored and preserved.
Yeah. All right, what do we have here?
This is the flat top mound.
Okay.
Mound H, and it says that this is where people would come gather in the green space behind us to watch, I guess, a performance or a speech or some type of a ceremonial situation. It is 12 feet high, and the congregation would be out here. It would have been cleared, sort of similar to this.
Yeah, again, you would have sight lines back over there to the big mound.
It says that they have found almost no artifacts out here.
Oh.
They don't really know why. Possibly the open space was swept and kept clean because it was used, you know, to host public events. They did find a few pottery fragments, and they gave clues to possible like religious beliefs, sacred symbols and stuff like that, but they really don't know why people were coming from so far away to congregate here. That's
so
interesting.
neat.
I wish we could find out answers to these things.
I know.
I don't
So
like
basically,
a mystery.
I know. You're basically saying there was a little bit of litter out here, right?
The speaker would be up here. Yeah,
The speaker would be up on top of the mound here. Fascinating.
Very little amount of litter.
Yeah, you can see here. Keep it clean.
Here's a few things they did find. This looks like a human hand and a canoe, maybe.
It does. This looks like an alien.
I wonder what that is.
I don't know. Cool. Decorated pottery fragments. Religious beliefs and sacred symbols, it says. Wow.
We found a nice bench in the shade, and we're just going to sit here for a minute and enjoy the sounds.
Listen to all the insects. I love it. I have missed this. I've missed this.
Yeah, it's so good to be back in Florida.
Yeah. We've made one loop, and I kept telling Julie, it said there was a Stella too, and the first time that we were here, she and I, neither one saw this. We missed it completely. So here's the second. Let me walk up and see. The ramp from the second temple mound points directly at this decorated Stella. I don't see a face. It doesn't tell me there's a face. Let me pan down.
Well, maybe. Look, this looks like two eyes.
Okay.
And I see, you know, you got to remember hundreds and thousands of years of weathering. This might be a mouth.
Oh,
Don't worry, I'm not touching the stone.
No, I know.
And we've got kind of the roundness here of
Maybe,
what could have been hair.
Yeah,
This one
possibly.
isn't covered, so I guess they haven't.
It's apparently enough that, you know, we've put a sign by it, because if it's saying it points directly at this, I mean, obviously it has something to do with religious ceremony. Yeah, we missed this the first time.
I didn't see it.
No, not at all. Cool.
Michael is headed off to get some pictures because we need a thumbnail to show other people. But I thought maybe we could take another look around the park. This over here, can you see horizontal? That looks like a carved out canoe. I don't know if it's an ancient artifact or maybe one that's been made to look ancient. I wanted to show the vlog a little better, but there was a sign as we left the museum that said stay on the paved path, and there was not a paved path to get to it. So it's just a canoe. We've all seen a canoe carved out of a log. But I thought we could just look around. What a pretty place this is. I remember loving it from 2020. That was the first time I ever came here. But I don't know. I don't think I had quite developed my love for Florida that I have now. And it's really special that we get to be back here. So I know not all of the mounds still stand. Some of them have been demolished. But I'm so glad that they are preserving the ones that we do have left. Okay guys, we have pretty much seen everything that a paved trail will take us to. Shared it all with you. I hope you enjoyed this vlog.
We love it. again, natural Florida is where we find that we are most at home. This one was a key one for me because I'd only ever been to the beach before Julie took me on this road trip in 2020, and this being the first stop that evening we got into Crystal River was amazing. So happy to be back. And again, it's a small park, but there's so much history in it, and the museum being open was just a little, you know, special add-on for me today. So yeah, loved it.
Awesome. Guys, we'll see you another day in another adventure tomorrow.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
I got to come up with a new outro. We'll see you another day in another adventure doesn't work now that
No,
we're daily
it's going to
vloggers.
be the next day.
See you tomorrow.
Bye-bye. Bonus footage. This is one of the largest grasshoppers that I've ever seen.
Here, iPhone for scale.
Did you see this guy?
iPhone for scale. Come back. Come back.
Come back. Bye-bye, little
The
guy.
bug at Mount Vernon. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. We never did identify what the heck that thing was.
No.
All right, guys.
See you later.
See you later.